Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about something that happened earlier this year, but more information has come out in the last week or so. The Anne Heche death conspiracy. I actually hear a lot of these stories from my mom, if not on YouTube or TikTok.
This is all alleged and a conspiracy. Nothing I say is fact other than what evidence was found surrounding this case, but I will have opinions that are just that, opinions. I'm here to discuss the conspiracy, not convince anyone to form an opinion for or against its validity.
For those who don't know, Anne Heche is known for her roles in the soap opera Another World, Donnie Brasco, and My Friend Dahmer as his mother, including the most recent one that surrounds her death and helped create the conspiracy, Girl in Room 13. As the event goes, Heche, at 53, accidentally drives her Mini Cooper into a house in California on August 5th, 2022. Witnesses say that she was going 80 miles per hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. First responders helped the woman in the house first, leaving Anne in the car for 30 minutes while she waited for assistance, and her car burned. The death was ruled an accident, and the cause of death in the autopsy report from a week and a half ago was inhalation and thermal injuries, as well as fracture of her sternum, the breastbone in the center of the chest, caused by blunt trauma during the crash, according to a report released by LA County Medical Examiner Coroner's Office, which contradicts a previous report from back in August that states that she was found with drugs in her system. When it thought she was on cocaine initially, people, or TikTok, thought she was drugged or somehow otherwise killed to make it look like it was an accident. Separate tests on her blood indicate prior use of benzoylecgonine, which is a toxic metabolite that occurs after cocaine use, but led the coroner to conclude there was no evidence of impairment by illicit substances at the time of the crash, the report said. The fentanyl that was found was administered after the accident in the hospital as treatment for severe pain management. Heche was rushed to the ER, but later transferred to the Grossman Burn Center in West Hills, California, where skin grafting was done on her neck, torso, and upper and lower extremities. She was placed on a breathing machine but was pronounced brain dead at 6:38 p.m. on August 11th. A second pronouncement was made 10 minutes later, and her organs and tissue were extracted for donation, according to the autopsy report. So as can be expected, conspiracy theorists took this to the internet, specifically TikTok. They began connecting her death to films that she was in, saying that she was murdered because of them. They involved topics of a pandemic and child trafficking. Films in question were Toxic Skies from 2008 and Girl in Room 13 from this year, 2022. IMDb describes this movie as a story of a World Health Organization doctor who uncovers the real cause of an epidemic that is the government's secret chemtrail program. Side note, I actually had no idea about this Toxic Skies pandemic part of this until I started doing research for this video, which makes sense why it would be trending now considering the events of the last 3 years, especially because I've heard other conspiracies about the pandemonium being caused and spread by the government. It all sounds impossible to me, but I guess we'll never really know what those in power are truly capable of. But this is likely why this is a topic of discussion online from what I'm getting from these articles. I wanted to include some of these TikToks with these claims because that's the place with most of this coverage. I will also be including a scene from the movie that the TikToker is describing.
So y'all all know that Miss Anne Heche was also Ellen's ex-girlfriend, and we all know about Miss Ellen and what island she liked to go on. Do y'all also remember that she started a movie called Toxic Skies in 2008?
Tell the rambler, the gambler, the
and it was about pharmaceutical companies working with the military to spray people in order to make them sick so they could make a profit off the drugs they were selling.
You can run on for a long time.
What's going on?
At any given moment, there are over 4,000 jet planes flying above the United States. We've been gathering data for years, charting the flight patterns, watching the people along the routes get sicker and sicker. They're putting something in the jet fuel that's making people sick.
Okay, why would they want to do that?
Some people think it's population control. Other people think it's to increase our dependency on pharmaceuticals.
In the QAnon world, hyper-focused on pedophilia, people have focused on her upcoming film that's reportedly about human trafficking, saying she was trying to inform the world about of the elites and was murdered before she could. Despite this theory, the film is still slated to be released. She was Clinton, one person wrote simply about Heche's death. Like some sort of dark trend, some TikTok creators are uploading videos of themselves calling her death into question, using footage from the scene that shows Heche sitting up in a stretcher before being put into the ambulance as evidence the crash didn't kill her. I mean, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but it seems like people in Hollywood that work in the sex trafficking films end up dead, said one TikToker. Another simply posted the footage with the caption, "She knew too much."
What? Wait, what? What?
At this point, y'all can stop calling us conspiracy theorists. Y'all can't believe people just be dying, just unalived right before they expose something or right after they expose something. Allegedly, she was driving 100 miles an hour and crashed into a house. As the firefighters was dragging her out the crib on a stretcher in a body bag, she woke up right before they got to the truck. You would think that the EMT/firefighters would just, maybe check her vitals or like do anything, react. Like just, oh my God, she's alive. But they did not. They just forced her into the truck. I don't think this was supposed to be caught on camera, but it was, and it's suspicious.
I don't want to downplay this tragedy, but people really seem to be making a conspiracy out of everything these days. So it kind of makes it hard to trust what anybody says, especially the media. Who knows for sure? It makes sense in some ways, but at this point I don't really know my opinion other than it's weird and the topics surrounding her death are serious regardless of a conspiracy. This next TikToker points out another person in connection to this who also got in an accident a week before and ended up dying.
What if I told you that the person she was working with on the documentary Girl in Room 13 was also passed away in a car crash legitimately a week before? And in case you didn't know, this person right here also voted for the American Human Trafficking Act and was very serious about human trafficking and cracking down on it. So yeah, conspiracy theories, I guess, have gotten a real bad rap lately, but you tell me that there isn't something weird up to this whole thing. I don't know. If I was crazy, I would say something like, it's almost like an entity doesn't want information on the dangers and the seriousness of human trafficking to come out. By the way, where's those Maxwell Epstein lists again?
I don't know how to feel about this. It seems like it could easily just all be a coincidence. But is it though? As always, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a conspiracy or do you think there's something more there? But also let me know if I missed anything. For those who stuck around to the end, I usually only upload once a month and I've skipped a month here or there. But now I want to try to, whenever is possible with my life, school, and whatever other stuff I have going on, now that I'm slowly gaining more subscribers. So probably by Fridays every other week, if not exactly the same every month, at least 2 Fridays a month, unless I give another message like this otherwise. But for now, I'm taking a break for the holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you in the new year.